Please understand this from the deepest place of my heart. I am not asking you to choose me out of pressure or fear or loneliness. I am standing here because after all the roads you've walked, all the storms you've survived, all the versions of love that disappointed you, hurt you, tested you, and taught you hard lessons, I want you to know that I am not another stop along the way. I am not a lesson. I am not a temporary shelter. I am not a passing season. I am your final destination. Sweetheart, the place where your heart can finally unpack its bags, take off its armor, rest without watching the door, because I know what it feels like to wander emotionally, to love deeply and still feel unseen. To give your whole soul and still be left wondering if you were ever truly chosen, and I know you carry those same silent memories inside you, the ones you don't talk about, the nights when you questioned your worth, the moments when you almost gave up on the idea that real love could feel safe and calm at the same time, and that's why I'm here not with loud promises but with quiet certainty, because certainty doesn't shout, it stays. And staying is what I intend to do, not just when things are beautiful and easy, but when life becomes heavy, when misunderstandings arise, when fears resurface, when old wounds ache without warning, because love that runs at the first sign of difficulty was never love. It was convenience, and I don't want to be convenient. I want to be constant. I want to be the place your heart returns to even after a hard day, the voice that reassures you without needing to convince you, the presence that doesn't make you question where you stand, because uncertainty is exhausting, and you've been tired for a long time, tired of guessing, tired of hoping, tired of giving more than you received. And I want you to rest now, not by shutting down, not by closing yourself off, but by leaning into something real, something steady, something that doesn't disappear when you finally let your guard down, because I see you, not just the version of you that smiles and stays strong, but the version that doubts, that overthinks, that fears being abandoned once you love too deeply. And I don't see those parts as flaws, I see them as proof that you have loved sincerely, and sincerity is rare in a world full of half-hearted connections, and I don't want half of you or half of this love, I want all of it, the messy conversations, the vulnerable confessions, the healing silences, the shared prayers. The late-night talks where words turn into comfort, because love isn't built in grand moments alone, it's built in consistency, in showing up again and again, even when it would be easier to walk away, and I want to be the one who stays when staying matters most, the one who doesn't compete with your past but understands it. The one who doesn't rush your healing but supports it, because healing isn't linear and love shouldn't be conditional on perfection, and I promise you this, I will not love you for who I want you to be, I will love you for who you are becoming, even when that journey is slow, even when it's confusing, even when you stumble, because growth doesn't require judgment, it requires patience. And patience is my offering to you, along with loyalty, respect, emotional safety, and blessings spoken not just in words but in actions, because love that blesses your life doesn't drain you, it strengthens you, it softens you, it makes you feel more yourself, not less, and I want to be the love that aligns with your soul. not fights it, the love that feels like destiny, not because it's dramatic, but because it's peaceful, because peace is how you recognize what's meant for you, and I believe that after everything you've endured, you deserve a love that doesn't test your limits but restores them, a love that doesn't make you chase but invites you to stay, and I am standing here saying this with full awareness, full intention, full commitment. That I am not here to pass through your life, I am here to build something lasting, something rooted, something that survives seasons, because love isn't about finding someone perfect, it's about choosing the same person again and again with honesty and care, and I choose you not because I need you to complete me, but because I want to walk with you, grow with you, and create a future where we don't fear endings, because we finally feel like we've arrived, and if your heart has been searching for a place to stop running, a place to feel chosen without conditions, a place to believe again, then let this be that place, let me be that place, because I am not another chapter you'll have to close, I am the story that continues, the home your heart settles into, the final destination where love doesn't leave, doesn't fade, doesn't betray, but stays, heals, and blesses, always. White Heart sparkles, and as this journey continues, I want you to feel how deeply intentional every step toward you is, because being a final destination is not about possession. It is about permanence of care, it is about choosing presence even when distance tries to creep in, even when doubts whisper old lies, even when the world feels loud and confusing, because love that lasts is not built on constant excitement, it is built on reassurance that survives quiet days, and I want to be the reassurance your heart no longer has to search for, the calm certainty that doesn't make you question tomorrow. Because I know how heavy uncertainty can feel, how it keeps the heart alert instead of at peace, and you deserve peace now, not the fragile kind that depends on everything going right, but the steady kind that exists even when life feels imperfect, because imperfection is where real love learns to breathe. And I am not afraid of the parts of you that are still healing, still learning, still carrying echoes of past pain, because those echoes do not scare me, they move me, they remind me that you have loved bravely before, even when it hurt, and bravery deserves gentleness, not judgment, and I want to be gentle with your fears, with your questions, with the moments when you pull inward to protect yourself, because protection once kept you safe. But now you deserve a love that makes protection unnecessary, a love that feels like a soft landing instead of a guarded stance, and I am not asking you to trust blindly, I am asking you to trust gradually, to let consistency speak louder than promises. To let time show you that I am not here for convenience or comfort alone, but for commitment that grows stronger through understanding, because understanding does not demand explanations every time, sometimes it simply sits beside you and says, I'm not going anywhere, and that sentence carries more healing than 1,000 reassurances, because healing happens when the nervous heart finally believes it can relax. And I want your heart to relax with me, to stop anticipating loss, to stop bracing for disappointment, to stop questioning whether you're asking for too much, because wanting stability, emotional safety, and loyalty is not asking for too much, it is asking for the bare minimum of real love. And I am willing to meet you there, fully, openly, honestly, without games, without emotional distance disguised as strength, because strength is not coldness, strength is staying soft in a world that taught you to harden, and I see that softness in you even when you try to hide it. I see it in the way you care deeply, in the way you hope quietly, in the way you still believe love can be meaningful despite everything, and that belief is precious. It deserves protection, it deserves nurturing. It deserves a place to grow without fear, and I want to be that place, not by rushing the future, but by building it thoughtfully, with conversations that matter, with shared silence that feels comfortable. With support that doesn't disappear when things get difficult, because difficulty is not the end of love, it is the test of its sincerity, and I am not afraid of that test, I am prepared for it, because I don't see love as an escape from struggle, I see it as a partnership through it, and partnerships are built on mutual care, mutual respect, mutual effort, not on perfection, and I don't expect perfection from you. I expect honesty, growth, and presence, and I offer the same in return, because love should be a shared responsibility, not a lonely effort, and I want you to feel that you are not walking toward me alone, that I am walking toward you with the same intention, the same depth, the same willingness to build something meaningful, because final destinations are not accidental, they are chosen, consciously, repeatedly, and I choose you not for who you were forced to be in the past, but for who you are becoming now, with clarity, with strength, with a heart that still knows how to love despite everything, and if you ever wonder whether you are enough, whether this love is real, whether you can finally stop searching, I want you to remember this feeling, this moment, this certainty, because I am not here to pass through your life, I am here to stay, to grow roots with you, to create a love that feels like arrival, not escape, like home, not uncertainty, like a blessing that unfolds slowly, beautifully, and lasts. White heart sparkles, and as this love settles deeper, beyond words and promises, I want you to feel the quiet truth of it, the kind of truth that doesn't need constant reassurance because it proves itself in presence, in patience, in the way two hearts slowly learn how to rest together without fear, because being a final destination is not about closing all other doors. It is about opening one that finally feels safe enough to stay open, and I know how hard it is for you to believe that safety can exist in love. Because you've seen how easily people walk away when things become real, how quickly affection fades when effort is required, and those experiences taught you to keep one foot out the door. Just in case, but I want you to know that you don't have to stand guard here, you don't have to prepare for abandonment before it happens, because I am not approaching you with uncertainty in my hands, I am approaching you with intention in my heart, and intention creates stability, not overnight, but through consistency that your heart can slowly trust, because trust is not built through intense moments alone. It is built through ordinary days where nothing dramatic happens except two people choosing each other again, and again, and again, even when life feels repetitive, even when emotions feel heavy, even when the spark quiets into something softer and deeper, because depth is what lasts. Not intensity, and I want a love with you that grows roots, not flames that burn bright and disappear, roots that hold through seasons of change, through misunderstandings, through personal growth that sometimes pulls us in different directions before bringing us back together stronger, because growth doesn't mean separation, it means expansion, and I want to expand with you, not apart from you. To build a future where we don't measure love by how much it excites us, but by how much it supports us, how much it steadies us, how much it allows us to be honest without fear of losing each other, because honesty should not feel dangerous in love, it should feel freeing, and I want to be the person you can speak your truth to without rehearsing it first. Without softening it out of fear, without hiding parts of yourself to stay accepted, because acceptance should not be conditional, and my love for you is not, it is rooted in who you are, not in how convenient or easy you make things, and I know there will be moments when you doubt this, when old wounds resurface and tell you that nothing lasts, that people change, that love eventually leaves. But I want you to remember that not every story ends the same way, and your past does not get to decide your future, especially when you are choosing differently now, when you are allowing yourself to believe again, even a little, because belief is the beginning of healing, and healing changes the patterns we once thought were permanent. And I want to be part of that change, not as someone who replaces your past, but as someone who respects it while building something new with you, something healthier, something steadier, something that doesn't require you to shrink or harden yourself to survive, because love should not require survival tactics, it should feel like alignment, like peace, like coming home after a long journey, and I truly believe that after everything you've endured, you are allowed to arrive, to stop searching, to stop questioning whether you deserve consistency, because you do, you deserve a love that stays when it's quiet, that listens when it's uncomfortable, that grows when it's challenged, and I am here with that kind of love. Not perfect, but real, not dramatic, but deeply intentional, and I don't need you to promise me forever today, I only need you to stay present, to let this connection unfold naturally, to trust the process instead of fearing the ending, because endings lose their power when love is built on mutual care, and I am not afraid of building that with you, step by step, moment by moment, with patience, honesty, and respect. Because final destinations are not about rushing to arrive, they are about recognizing when you no longer need to run, and if your heart feels tired of running, tired of proving, tired of starting over, then rest here, with me, not because I demand it, but because love finally feels like a place you can stay. And as we move forward, through days that will test us and days that will bless us, know this with certainty, I am not here for a season, I am here for the journey, and I choose you in it, fully, sincerely, and with a heart that intends to remain, always. White Heart Sparkles.